Welcome to California, the homeless capital of America. Nearly 200,000 homeless people reside in the Golden State.
It's way worse than Minnesota.
This was bought with taxpayer dollars.
Yeah. Obvious fraud. What the hell is going on?
Mayor Bass needs Skid Row for her to get federal money. But the reality is we could fix this if we want to.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that never occurred to me.
Welcome to California.
We just had a whistleblower from inside of the homeless industrial complex.
So you believe homeless shelters are being used by illegal aliens?
So they're rallying protesters to come and surround us.
This is what LA looks like everywhere. Not just this street, every underpass, every ditch, every overpass, every single intersection looks just like this. You have been lied to. Gavin Newsom, the governor of this state, says that homelessness is down, that he's fixed homelessness, and he's setting records to make the state better. This is a lie. Here's a police officer who is trying desperately to engage with these homeless drug users in their filthy hovels that seem like they've been here for years. This is a choice by the leadership of California to allow this to happen in your neighborhoods. The politicians are handcuffing the police officers, not allowing them to enforce the law. They're choosing this because people have businesses here. Look, people live here. Why would they allow this? Why are those officers helpless? Because of Gavin Newsom and the Democrats in California. And in this video, we're going to unpack all of it. We're going to prove why the Democrats want to continue the homeless industrial complex. The billions of dollars spent in this state, $24 billion spent on homelessness. It's $170,000 per homeless person spent in this state. Look at that.
That's a guy's house right there. You live right there. You're moving because you can't take all the homeless?
Yeah.
Your children live here?
Yeah, it's not passed for the street.
Oh, of course not, it's not safe. Look at that barbed wire. You're living in a war zone.
This is all about trafficking in human misery. Look at this. So that's what we are going to be investigating in this video. The homeless industrial complex that feeds the Democrat Party and their donors in this state, and why they never want to solve any problem like that. Join us for this ride. It's going to be a wild one. Here we go.
California has poured $31 billion of state and federal tax dollars into fighting homelessness over the past few years. That adds up to $170,000 per homeless person. For perspective, that's more than the median price of a home in West Virginia. That's more than the total GDP of 91 different countries. So what's the result of this astronomical spending? Homelessness skyrocketed in California. They added 30,000 new homeless people. We decided to head to Venice Beach to talk to actual homeless people to see if they've received any of the $170,000 that Gavin Newsom has spent on them. Listen to this. We're here on Venice Beach, one of the most famous beaches in the world, and it is absolutely disgusting. It smells like piss and weed everywhere that you go, and there's homeless people everywhere. Let's go talk with some of them and ask, has Gavin Newsom done anything for you exactly?
Nothing.
So have you guys seen any of that money? Has anybody...
No.
I got nothing. I'm still right here.
Yeah, I didn't know there was that much money in it.
For $170,000, they could easily build longhouses with 50 to 100 hammocks in each one.
Have you seen any of that money?
No.
$170,000. Have you ever gotten any payment?
Get payment for what?
Yeah, exactly.
Trump said they're gonna find out to see where's the money going.
There are 683 homeless nonprofits in California, with over $1 billion in annual revenue. This is a massive industry. Take, for example, PATH, People Assisting the Homeless. This is a major California-based nonprofit focused on ending homelessness. According to their IRS 990 forms, PATH has a total revenue of $181 million. That's grown exponentially in the past few years. It's up 13% year over year. PATH spent $70 million on salaries and benefits alone in the past year. The CEO made over $300,000 this year. Man, you can really put a roof over your head in the homeless industrial complex. And hundreds of millions of dollars that California is spending on homelessness is going to fraud. Here's a report from just last week. $23 million gone.
This man was contracted with the city and county of Los Angeles to house and feed up to 600 homeless people, but instead he was misusing tens of millions of dollars to live a luxurious life. The feds say Sucre defrauded the city and county of LA out of $23 million in taxpayer dollars for not only his mansion and car, but a second home in Greece, luxury vacations, designer clothes, and private schools.
Welcome to the world headquarters of Shangri-La Industries, a company that defrauded the state of California of tens of millions of dollars, saying that they would assist with the homeless when they can't even assist with the homeless directly outside of their world headquarters. They promised the state of California they'd build hundreds of units of affordable housing by converting old motels into homeless shelters. What did they end up doing? Stealing that money. Tens of millions of it went to pay for luxury goods, shopping sprees, expensive cars. It went to credit cards for Cody Holmes, who has now been arrested and indicted by the feds for wire fraud. And that's just one example. There's a lot more. Let's go. Welcome to the Weingart Center, a nonprofit that takes hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars from the people of California and delivers homeless skyscrapers at a cost of $800,000 per unit, including lavish amenities like gyms, cafes, dog parks, city views, and art studios. The homeless in California live better than you do. The Weingart Center is at the heart of a federal investigation into fraud overpayment on properties for homeless shelters. A real estate developer bought a former senior facility for $11 million using a fraudulent loan. And then they sold it to the Weingart Center for $27 million the same week. That's a $16 million profit, leading to their CEO and real estate director to be placed on leave. The absolute hellscape that is downtown Los Angeles. Drive through it. For every one open store, there are 10 that are closed, and that's because the homeless industrial complex has hollowed out downtown LA. There's literally nothing left. Some of these beautiful buildings, old theaters, some of the most gorgeous architecture you've ever seen left to rot and be graffitied, and that's because of fraud like the homeless industrial complex provides. For instance, Urban Alchemy is one of the nonprofits that gets hundreds of millions of dollars from the California taxpayer. Urban Alchemy promised the city of LA that if they gave them millions of dollars, they would be building beds for homeless people. Let's go ahead and check in on that project, which a recent judge just called obvious fraud. Let's go. The group received $3 million in taxpayer funds to build a safe sleep village in a parking lot that's filled with tents. Welcome to the famous parking lot homeless shelter, where the city of Los Angeles was billed $200 per night for homeless individuals to sleep in a tent. By the way, half of the beds that they were promised were not built. A judge said this is obvious fraud, and at a charge of $5,600 per month per person in a tent, one of the most expensive rents in all of LA. We are heading now to go see Steve Hilton. He is a Republican candidate for governor. He's doing great in the polls. And he has a location to show us that he says is the monument to homelessness fraud in LA. It is a abandoned motel that is supposed to be a homeless shelter. And it was purchased for like $20 million. Nothing's apparently been done on it. It's still like an ongoing construction site. So we're gonna go talk to Steve Hilton and see what we can find out. Let's go. It's my boy, Steve Hilton. Here we go. Great to meet up with you.
Welcome to California.
Like, we didn't even plan this. We're here for something totally different, but there's just
a lovely neighborhood scene to greet you, Benny.
Team gave me this breakdown.
Unbelievable.
Billions and billions of dollars.
We looked at the whistleblower accounts that we had to identify the kind of areas to look into.
So you say that it could potentially be an estimated $425 billion worth of exposure.
And again, we're just finding more all the time. So you can just about make out there up there.
Okay.
You can see Ramada.
Right.
It's dropped out.
Why don't we just go in?
Let's see what's happening.
This was bought with taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
Millions and millions and millions of them. And this was supposed to be done and opened in 2025.
They claimed that people were here.
The whole world of crony developers that get the money, They give political donations to Newsom and all the politicians. It is totally corrupt. Welfare state and corruption. That is what this is all about.
Goodness gracious. I can't believe that this construction project has been going on for 6 years and there's nothing's been done. How is this a $20 million construction project?
And again, that's what we know about. That's what they admit to.
And we pulled their 990s from the IRS.
Right.
They spent $200 million last year. So it's federal HUD money that's going to this.
The scale of the money in California, it just dwarfs anything in Minnesota, and it's everyone who's watching. It's your money.
We are headed to chat with Sheriff Bianco, who is going to be meeting us in a really dangerous part of LA. Now, luckily, he's got a security team, and he's been fighting homelessness his entire life here in California. He's the single most popular sheriff in the state of California. He wants to be governor. He's doing great in the polls. He says he has a solution to fix California, Los Angeles, and to solve homelessness in 4 years or less.
We are here with Sheriff Bianco, who is the #1 leading candidate in the California gubernatorial race right now, out on the streets with us. Here, this beautiful scenic LA street.
It is. It is. Welcome to Los Angeles. It's every street you go on, you're going to find this. But the reality is this. We could fix this if we wanted. I've talked to a couple of the guys here. Morning. This is their life. This is where they live. The one gentleman that I spoke with this morning has been here for 20 years.
20 years on this street?
20 years. 20 years downtown here in downtown Los Angeles homeless. Because we know there are billions of dollars of help out there.
Yes.
So why are we allowing this on the sides of our freeways, on our off-ramps? These are houses here. These are residential houses that have...
It's someone's business. Someone's trying to do business there.
This is a residential street. This is the reality of big cities in California that are completely mismanaged when you have so much money that it is easy to hide the waste, the fraud, and the abuse. And thank God that Minnesota happened. Thank God that Nick Shirley did that with what he did. Because what I thought was interesting is the day after Nick did that, social media all over started saying, yeah, but what about California?
Yeah.
California's got to be worse. And I was sitting there saying, yeah, it's way worse. And bring it on. How are you? What's your name?
Greg.
Greg, good to meet you, Greg.
Can we ask you a quick question? $24 billion has been spent on homelessness. That's $170,000 per homeless person. Have you ever seen any of that money?
Would you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
How long have you been down here?
Years.
A couple years?
Yeah.
Are you from Los Angeles or did you come from somewhere else?
Los Angeles.
If I created an environment where I could offer you a living facility to come get off drugs, get your life straight, get you some job training, and get you back out into the world, would you accept that? Would you be up for that?
Yeah. Yes. Good.
Yeah. Keep your head up and keep going where you're going, and appreciate you talking to me.
You just walk by and engage with more homeless people than I've ever seen Gavin Newsom engage with.
Our politicians only come down here for political shoots. There's no way Gavin Newsom would ever walk and talk up to some random homeless person. I've been doing this for 32 years. A homeless person doesn't scare me. A criminal doesn't scare me. They're just people. They don't care about these people.
That walk right there, the sheriff just did more for homeless people than Gavin Newsom has ever done in that walk right there.
In the middle of our interview with Sheriff Bianco, we had a whistleblower reach out with bombshell evidence from the top levels of a homeless industrial complex nonprofit located in California. We confirmed their identity and confirmed their information, and what they told us was shocking. They told us that the homeless industrial complex isn't there to help out homeless people at all. We're missing the whole point. Here it is.
I just want to say thank you for this tip. So you believe or you know that the homeless shelters are being used by illegal aliens?
No.
What percentage?
50%, 60%.
Do they ask for any type of documentation or proof when you go in there?
They only ask for, like, if they have a passport or an ID.
You say that the shelters for the homeless are being used by up to 60% illegal aliens, and that they're able to just stay there and live for free and get everything that they need.
Yeah, they stay from like a year and a half, stuff like that. Sometimes it's like an entire family. It's gonna sound crazy. One of the shelters, this Russian family, they're driving a brand new BMW.
This is unbelievable. You see other luxury items like cell phones and stuff?
Oh yeah, everybody has new stuff. They're dressed well. If you see any of these people on the streets, you can't tell they're homeless at all. At all.
Unbelievable.
This other family, they came from Florida, because of course, you know, things are getting harder over there for illegal immigrants in Florida. So they say, oh, come to California because everything is free. They'll give you anything. So just come down over here.
You said if they have a criminal history, it doesn't matter?
Well, of course, you'll get them, yeah.
Wow. So do you not let the police in?
After the whole ICE thing all over the place, they placed signs everywhere that private property, they close the gates, they lock everything down.
What these are like extrajudicial embassies for criminal aliens, illegal and then potentially criminal, where they get to live for free on the taxpayer dollars and be protected from federal agents and police.
Basically.
Wow. You just blew the lid off everything. This is unbelievable.
So they're rallying protesters to come and surround us. We are not going to get help from LAPD. This is the reality of Los Angeles.
I can't. This is crazy. So they're coming. So they're like staging a mob, and the police say they're not going to help us.
Yes.
So we got to go.
We had to get out of this area fast before the anti-ICE protesters got to us. We didn't want a Minnesota scenario happening, so we hopped in our car and processed what we just learned from our whistleblower. Our whistleblower just blew the doors off the whole California homeless industrial complex. Is it a front for smuggling criminal aliens into California using federal dollars? The whistleblower says 60% of California's homeless facilities are just free housing for illegals that drive luxury cars and live lavish lifestyles, and that the well-guarded homeless shelters are actually designed to keep out federal agents who would deport these illegals, and we're all paying for it. Could this be true? The answer is yes. California law makes it a crime for a homeless shelter to even ask for citizenship status. You're likely to lose all funding if you do, but it gets even worse. A recently scrubbed article from the Weingart Center, remember the homeless skyscrapers, explains the operation further. Thousands of migrants get bused to cities like Los Angeles without properly planned housing. Migrants experiencing homelessness can be blocked from accessing housing, healthcare, food programs, and other forms of support. The Weingart Center offers housing assistance along with comprehensive services such as healthcare, advocacy, and legal referrals, including those who are undocumented. The homeless industrial complex is a front for high-end services for illegal aliens. The Weingart Center creates a welcoming community for the ever-increasing homeless migrant population. There they said it. The ever-increasing homeless migrant population. That is the goal. They're creating magnets to bring illegals to California from other states. Why? Power. California is set to lose a catastrophic number of electoral votes in the next census based on population loss. The census counts bodies, not citizens. So California has used the homeless crisis as a cover to import illegals, boost their population, and spend billions of your federal tax dollars on this operation. It's all for power. We checked out one of the homeless shelters named by our whistleblower in Hollywood, and you won't believe what we found.
We just had a whistleblower from inside of the homeless industrial complex here in California tell us that the entire system is rigged in order to get around federal law so that federal money can be used to house criminal aliens and their families. They buy luxury goods, they drive brand new sports cars, some of them are from Russia, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, and they live for years inside of these homeless shelters, which are fraudulent and used to launder federal dollars to criminal aliens, and they come from all over the country here. And they said, you should check out Path in Hollywood. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the massive, used to be hotel that's happening all across California, where old hotels are being converted into homeless shelters. They're spending nearly $200 million a year in facilities like this one. Now, where's that money come from? 90% of all the money is your money. It's your federal dollars. And according to our whistleblower, there's no checks on who's getting this assistance. This is federal dollars going directly to criminal aliens, and they've increased. Look at the size of this facility. Look at this. And they say that the people living here drive Mercedes. Well, look at this.
It's right there in the parking lot, a Mercedes. This place is locked down more than a prison. Half Villas, Hollywood community, and it's surrounded by luxury vehicles. I mean, here's another BMW, or an Audi.
But it's surrounded by these nice trees.
You can see some of the facilities inside. I mean, they look beautiful. They look empty, but they look beautiful.
Let's go around to the front. The reason why the facilities are on lockdown, according to our whistleblower, is because they want to prevent federal government forces like ICE from entering and from doing immigration checks. So what our whistleblower is telling us is that this is simply a massive complex that is designed in order to get around federal law.
You can see it. It's really nicely funded. I mean, this is where $200 million goes. Look at the balconies. Look at people have plants up there. It's like people are clearly living here long term.
It's probably most likely one of these public-private, entities where like part of the housing is affordable housing. But I mean, you can see it's really nice.
Hey, what's up? Have you ever stayed at the Path shelter here? Yeah? What is it like in there?
It's like single or studios.
Yeah, good? Nice?
Yeah, it's actually.
Did they do any drug or alcohol testing at Path?
Not that me is aware of.
Did they demand that you be a U.S. citizen to use their facilities?
That I don't know.
No.
We've made a good faith effort to reach out to the major homeless nonprofits in LA with emails and phone calls. We got a hold of 0 of the facilities. They refused to get back with us or answer our calls. And so we called HUD. This is the Housing and Urban Development Director, Scott Turner, in Congress just a few days ago. Have a listen.
And we are auditing public housing authorities to ensure taxpayer dollars don't support illegal aliens. American dollars should benefit American citizens and American citizens only.
We reached out to the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development with the allegations in this report. Turner told us bluntly that HUD will not tolerate fraud. When we find it, we will act. HUD's Office of Inspector General will do everything in our power to prosecute and apprehend those who break the law. And then he pointed us to the prosecutions of a man in LA who stole $23 million from the American taxpayers just this week. He said that more prosecutions will be coming. We hope our investigation leads to more.
Could you imagine what California could be without its thieving, criminal ruling class who has stolen the birthright of all Californians and, quite frankly, America to enjoy this state gifted in natural resources, potential, creativity? There was a time in California's history, not too long ago, where if you wanted to be anything, man, you moved to California. The movie business, media, space exploration, natural resources exploration, tech, and now those companies can't get out of here fast enough. They're fleeing because of what? The fraud, because of the mismanagement, the corruption, and the open thievery that's happening here at scale, because the rulers of California act like kings who would rather rule over the ashes than a functional civilization that could hold them accountable. And so you got to ask the question, when are the people of California going to do that? When are they going to wake up? When is the fraud going to stop? Make California great again.